Well, here I am, just as promised. Not happy. I want to start off the show by just first off, for the guys who got hurt in the game, Garrett Green, Jaheim White, Wyatt Milam, TJ Jackson, and others. Hope none of their injuries are major. Hope they recover. Thank them for playing their hearts out. Garrett Green's tough as nails. Got to give it to him. Dude took a lot of hits, and I admire and respect him for that. But the product that continues to be put on the football field week in, week out is just absolutely 100% not acceptable. And West Virginia fans are tired of it. I'm tired of it. The fans pretty much emptied the stadium out about halfway through the fourth quarter based on pictures I saw online. I'm actually surprised they had 53,000 people, which is what was announced. I'm just not sure how much longer the administration is going to tolerate it. We will see. I'm a little concerned the fact that Gordon Gee is a lame duck president. Not sure they're going to be willing to hire a new football coach. Maybe they will be. I don't know. Or force change or whatever needs to be done. But something's got to change, man. I mean, West Virginia's 3-17 against ranked opponents in the Neal Brown era. They have been embarrassed at home 3 times now. Against ranked opponents, Penn State, Iowa State, and now Kansas State. 2 of those programs, the last 2, West Virginia should not be getting embarrassed by. Chris Klieman was hired the same time as Neal Brown. They don't have more resources than West Virginia. Iowa State does not have more resources than West Virginia. And Iowa State is one of the worst college football programs of all time, historically. And as West Virginia fans, we have got to demand change. We can no longer sit back and just be okay with this mediocrity. If you want to even call it mediocrity, it's turned to bad at this point. And I know what Neal Brown's going to probably come out and do at his press conference. He's probably going to use all the injuries as an excuse. There were some bad calls in the game. He'll use that as an excuse. But I'm tired of the excuses, man. I'm tired of the excuses. It's time to win football games. It's in year 6. Curt Cignetti is at Indiana now. Indiana, one of the worst football programs ever. Ever. They're 7-0, and they're probably going to be ranked in the top 15, if not top 10, in the next AP poll. Curt Cignetti there's a good chance he would be at West Virginia right now had they fired Neal Brown 2 years ago. No, don't know that for sure. But I did have some people reach out to me and tell me he was interested in the job if Neal ever got let go. And every time I think about Indiana and the success they're having, it makes me sick to my stomach. Because West Virginia now sits at 3-4 in a season that they should be competing for a Big 12 title. They're 3-4 overall, 2-2 in the conference. And they look to be getting worse every week, not better. For all the positive things I said about Garrett Green, which he deserves, he's not accurate with the football. He's making bad decisions every single week. And he's a senior quarterback. He cannot keep doing that. Can't keep doing it. Nico came in second half. He was in a terrible situation. Didn't have his best, I don't know. He didn't look that much better. But at the same time, he came in a very tough spot. The team morale seemed to be down in the second half, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure if we can really gauge Nico based on that. I don't know if there are any fans out there now who are okay with this, I'm going to question their fandom, to be honest with you, because I just don't know how you can care and be passionate about a team and be okay with what we're seeing, especially if you invest money, time, and all that into it. Listen, I had tickets to this game. I didn't go. Now, I had some family things, but I didn't really care to miss it. I didn't want to sit in the cold and have to drive 3.5. Actually, it would have been 4.5 today because of Bridge Day to watch that garbage that I saw on TV. I basically checked out about halfway through the fourth quarter mentally, and I was on my phone looking at social media. I even watched a little bit of the Texas game. I can't I'm not sure how much look, I'm sure I'll be there next week watching the game like I always am because it's like I'm addicted to it. But I am fed up with the product. I don't enjoy it anymore. But I probably can't stay away because it's in my DNA. But it stresses me out to watch the team play. I'll be honest with you. It ruins my mood. And it makes it hard to do a show, to be honest with you. Makes it hard to get on here and do a show. All right. That's my rant. Let me get on here and see. I got a lot of people in. Got a lot of people watching on X. A lot of people on YouTube already have a super chat, I believe. Horror Realm, thank you for the $3 donation. He says, turning it off, the love team, the butt season is over. Love the team, but the season is over, I think is what you meant to say. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to make sure listen, I've got over 400 people in here already, many on X, many on YouTube. If you want to make sure your comment gets seen, you can drop a super chat. It'll highlight it. We have another one coming in from Lonnie Johansson. It says, go Big 12. Lonnie, I appreciate the support, my brother. $5 donation. Big win for BYU this weekend. Congrats to BYU, but it's hard for me to root for the Big 12 right now because my team sucks. But yeah, congrats to BYU, and I appreciate you supporting what I do here on the channel. I really do. Dalton Logan in the house checking in with a $10 super chat. Dalton says, we need to highlight the fact that Brown called a play averaging 0.5 yards a play over a dozen times. Nothing pisses the fans off more than seeing him beat his head against a wall for seemingly no reason. Great point, Dalton. I'm assuming you're talking about the fourth down play at the end of the half, first half, maybe. I don't know what specific play you're talking about, but I agreed with it. I called it out on X. I thought it was a bad play call, but at the same time, Cole Taylor was wide open in the end zone and Garrett missed him. So, some of that has to go on Garrett as well. But nonetheless, I'm tired of seeing players not get better in this program. And I'm not going to get 100 bash to players. Yes, they needed to play better. So they're not blameless here for sure. But we've seen multiple players over his 5.5-year span in this program. Multiple players, multiple quarterbacks, multiple running backs, multiple linemen, multiple DBs, multiple linebackers. You name the position. I'm tired of seeing players not get better. I'm tired of seeing players not progress. I'm tired of seeing players in some positions regress. Where's the player development in this program? Where's the recruiting? Where's the proper evaluation of talent? Where's the proper ability to put players in position to win games? I think it's all lacking, if you want my honest opinion. All of it. All areas. All areas. I don't know where are they good at. Name one, because I don't know one. Maybe you could say recruiting. I think they have the talent. I'll be honest with you. I think West Virginia has some talent, but they just don't. They don't display it on Saturdays for some reason. Dave Penn says, "Hey, Couz, fun wasn't it?" Yeah, I did. You have fun? I didn't have fun, even though the weather was nice. He did run CJ wide numerous times. Agreed. We got. See, we got a lot of comments. I'll get to as many as I can. Jeremy Croy's in the house. Thank you for being a VIP member. He says, just wanted to say I'm so glad I trusted the climb when no one else was. I know he's being sarcastic. Stanley Metz in the house. Jeremy Croy says tailgating was fun, I bet. Jeremy Croy says credit to K-State. They executed at a high level. LOL. Yeah, credit to K-State. They outplayed us, outcoached us. There were some bad calls in the game. We had a lot of injuries. We're playing a tough schedule. So what else will he say in his post-game press conference? I'm sure he'll get snippy with a reporter for asking a question about somebody. But yeah, great comments, guys. Let me pull the stats up here real quick. Oh, I got another super chat I need to get to here. Lonnie Johansson again. Thank you, Lonnie. He says, you are better than Utah. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Is Utah playing tonight? I don't even know. I haven't kept up with it. I've been trying to check scores of various games, but I usually catch up on all the scores later in the evening. Utah's having a rough go at it too. Yeah, sorry I was late getting on, everybody. I had a couple things I had to do before I jumped on here. It's hard to just come straight into a show. I got a few things I got to do first. Yeah, Greg. I actually did that earlier. I did have one beverage earlier and I'm kind of glad I did because it probably relaxed me a little bit before I got on here. Jeremy says basketball will be better than last year, but we don't have a center, and I'm afraid another losing season there too. Maybe, Jeremy, but I'm telling you, based on what I saw in that scrimmage game, it's going to be a much more fun team to watch, and we might actually have some fun. All right. Let me get to some stats here. We've got Shannon Miller in the house, another VIP member. Can I sell y'all on 8-4 going real cheap? Any takers? Not for me, buddy. That's what I predicted early on. And we're already 3-4. I don't think 8-4 is happening. Daniel Gigax, another VIP member, says that was ugly. At least show some life in the team. Exactly. It's like they just gave up, man. WV fan 13 says 5-7 is more likely, possibly 6-6. Ryan Scott in the house says if Rena's legit, get Neal out now. All right. Let me get to the stats here. I haven't even had a chance to look at these yet, guys. So y'all were looking at them the same time I am. Third down efficiency. West Virginia was 5 of 16. Kansas State 7 of 12. Total yards 412 to 294. Passing got killed in that category. Only 15 of 32 passing to their 19 of 29. Only 4.5 yards per pass to their 10.3. Two picks were huge. Rushing 151 for the Mountaineers. West Virginia run defense was stout. Held on to 114. Penalties. West Virginia only had 5 penalties to Kansas State's 9. The 2 turnovers hurt. And West Virginia had 34 minutes of time of possession and still got beat 45-18. Oh, my gosh. The pass defense killed us again. Pass defense was the crippler again. I'm tired of seeing DBs not be able to cover people or linebackers, whoever's fault it is. Sorry guys, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. See who's playing. Is Utah playing this week? I don't think they are they? All right. Now let's look at some individual stats. By the way, before I get too far along in the show, I need to give a shout out to my sponsor here real quick before I forget. Let me do that right now. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. Thank you for your patience. Let me give a shout out to Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner. If you've been injured, be sure to give them a call if you're in West Virginia or Virginia. If you've been injured in a car accident or need a medical malpractice attorney. All right. Let's look at some team stats or some individual stats, rather. Garrett Green, 9 of 19. Nico was 6 of 13. Neither one is impressive. Each had a touchdown. Garrett had the 2 picks. Avery Johnson was 19 of 29. Very efficient in the pass game with 3 touchdowns, 298 yards. Held DJ Giddens. If you had told me they would hold DJ Giddens to 57 yards, there is no way in the world I would have thought West Virginia gets beat 45-18. No way in the world. But again, the pass defense comes back to haunt West Virginia. The rushing, Garrett Green had 10 carries for 88 yards. Garrett was a beast in the run game tonight. Got to give him credit for that. C.J. Donaldson, 12 for 34. Jaheim, 7 for 18 before getting hurt. Rodney had the one run for 10 yards. Nico carried it 9 for 0 yards. Defensive stats here, or receiving stats rather. Cole Taylor and Treylon Ray and Hudson Clement all had 4 catches for 61, 37, and 29 yards respectively. For Kansas State, Keegan Johnson had 3 catches. Ty Bowman had 3 catches. Jaden Jackson had 2. He had a touchdown along with Garrett Oakley, who had a touchdown. And with West Virginia, do you all notice when you watch, it's like West Virginia can never capitalize on anything. They have that fumble that they finally force a fumble. Haven't forced one in weeks. Finally force a fumble. They can't get on top of it. Sean Martin has the quarterback in his grasp. I mean, I thought it was a sure sack. It was a 4th down. It would have been a huge, huge momentum shift. West Virginia would have gotten the ball back and had a chance to go down the field and score. Would have gotten good field position. Instead, they complete it. They go down the field, they score a touchdown. That, to me, that was the biggest moment in the football game. West Virginia was never able to recover from that moment. But moments like that continue to happen for this team, and it's so frustrating. But on defense, West Virginia's leading tackler was once again Josiah Trotter. 8 total tackles, 4 of those solo. Also had a TFL. Trey Lathan had 7 tackles. Garnett Hollis, Anthony Wilson, each was 6. Fatorma Mulba had half a TFL, so did Sean Martin. And there were 0 sacks, I guess. For Kansas State, they sacked West Virginia's quarterbacks 2 times. Leading tackler for them was Austin Romaine, who had 12 tackles, 4 of those being solo. Marcus Siegel had 2 tackles for loss, and he also had that pick 6. So he had a big night for the Wildcats. What does this mean for the future of this team? I don't know. For this team this season, and when you look at their schedule, they've got Arizona coming up. That's a winnable game, but it's on the road. So we'll see what happens. Arizona's not playing well either, but, you know, they've got Tetairoa McMillan back there. You know, he can probably, as good as he is at receiver, I'm not sure West Virginia can cover him. Then you've got a bye week before you go to Cincinnati and play. Right now, I think Cincinnati beats West Virginia. As good as Cincinnati can throw the football, I don't see West Virginia beating them. And West Virginia's offense isn't playing well either. So I have no faith in them at the moment. So what can we have faith in on this team? I don't know. Run game's not working. Pass game's not working. Pass defense isn't working. The only thing doing any good is the run defense. And you can't win on that alone. I think we have another super chat. Tyler Hall in the house. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler says, "Go Mark JUCO team." Embarrassing. Thank you, Tyler, for that. It's definitely embarrassing. I almost put that as my thumbnail, but I think I've already used it this year. So I decided to go with "The wheels are off," because they are. They are officially off. Shannon Miller said he enjoyed doing other things with his time. I don't blame you, man. Nick D says he'd be willing to lose all of our players if it means getting rid of Neal Brown. Maybe would it be worth it? Maybe it would be, man. Maybe it would be. I don't know. Daniel Gigak says, "Is there 3 wins left on the schedule to make a bowl?" Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I don't know though, man. The way the team's playing, it's I don't know, man. They're getting worse. If they weren't getting worse, I'd say yes. I think they beat Arizona and Baylor. Maybe Arizona and UCF. I don't know. UCF's giving Iowa State a game right now. So I don't know about that one either. Thing is, UCF can't throw the football. At least they hadn't been able to. So any team that can throw the football, I don't think West Virginia's beating them. Just period, point blank. Pierce, who's watching on X, says, "Can we seriously not rally enough well donors to cover this clown's buyout. The joke is over. WVU Fan 13, who's a VIP member here, says, Couz, give this some thought. We were overhyped by NB and the coaches. We are not that good of a team. We are poorly coached. We have no offense, no offensive creativity at all. Defense is mediocre at best. I have given it thought, a lot of thought, and you're correct. They overhyped the team. They talked about how good it was all offseason, and it's not good. So how can they either lie to us or they are terrible judges of talent? One of the two. And either way, it's not acceptable. Great comment. Climb Truster in the house. He says, I love this team, but God, horrible stuff. Great comments tonight. Tim Oliver says at least the fans had a good time. LOL. Love it, Tim. Miss you, brother. Miss you, my man. Man, I'm way behind in the chat, ain't I? Let me get down here. Oop, did I miss another super chat? I am way behind in the chat. Shannon says TCU and Utah in the second right now. 3-0 TCU. Wow. Jeremy Croy says, take 5 seconds, like and subscribe. Couz has some great material and great guy. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you, my man. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for support. Yeah, anybody who, if you don't care, if you like this, please hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on the replay as well, hit the thumbs up. It really helps my show, pumps my stuff out to more people, gets into that YouTube algorithm, and gives more people the opportunity to see my stuff, hopefully. It's all coaching techniques. Shannon Miller says, plenty of plays that weren't made. Shannon, man, I agree. But there's one person responsible for ensuring the players are in the position to make a play. There's also one person responsible for recruiting the players who will make those plays. And it's been the same person in charge of that for the last 5.5 years. And if you got players not making plays in 2019, they're not making plays in 2020, they're not making plays in 2021, they're not making plays in 2022, not making plays. I'll skip last year because they actually did pretty good, even though they didn't do good against ranked opponents. I want to remind you of that. And they're still not making plays in 24, and it's all different players. It's all different players. Garrett Green, Jaheim Joseph, I'm just throwing out names. Garnett Hollis, Josiah Trotter, Sean Martin, who else? None of those guys were on the team in 2019 when they weren't making plays, or 2020, or 2021. Well, some of them were there 2021, but you get my point. It's different guys. The buck stops at the feet of the head football coach. Period. But I understand your point. Big Aaron says, this is the first time I felt a WVU game vibe feel dead. I felt it from my living room, man. Easy fix, Jamie Chadwell. Maybe. Is he the guy? Maybe. Clay D, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, my man. Appreciate the donation. I guess I got to get up here to John Waffle. H2P says, hell to pit. Kevin Luttrell says, like your show, Couz. Keep it up, brother. Kevin, thank you for the donation, man. Thanks for the support. Really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. See. We got Owen Sapelnik in the house. Brandon Baker, Dustin Hammond, WV Buckeye. Thank you. Yep. Yes, Jeremy, it is. That is the same Tim Oliver. Sure is. Future for WVU, let me touch on that. I did have that in the description. I really do not. He did, and Curtis, no surprise. No surprise there. Even though Kansas State had multiple guys out with injuries. Oklahoma State today had their 3 best defensive players out with injuries and just about beat BYU today. So I don't want to hear injury excuses, man. I've had enough of the injury. I've had enough excuses. And if the administration uses that as an excuse to not make changes, it'll make it even worse. Mountaineer spirit has never been as apathetic as it is right now. Neal Brown must go ASAP. I think they need to forfeit the rest of their games. You sure don't want to play in them. They're not going to do that now. Thank you, Douglas. I appreciate it, man. Iowa State, I think, pulled it off in the end. Yes. Shaq, thank you for becoming a channel member, I guess, or maybe you just changed your name up for me. He says, can we flip the flying WV upside down like the American flag? We're a football team in distress. Man, great point. Then it would be an MV, right? Or no, an M. What would it be? An MA? Add an I in there, it's MIA, right? Hunter says fans deserve to see a coaching change. Faithful support for a terribly coached team that had potential is the final straw. WV Buckeye says don't listen to hype. UCF, Texas Tech, Cincy, and even better will all be uncomfortable for West Virginia. Justin Shinko says Neal Brown is destroying a historic program. I am done giving money to this program until he is gone. I donate thousands every year. This has gone way too far. And I guarantee you, Justin, you're not the only one with those thoughts, my man. I don't donate thousands. I don't have to, that much to donate, but I do donate some. And I am seriously considering pulling it. I haven't done it yet because I'm not usually that guy, but I'm thinking about it. Or shifting my money to the basketball program, one or the other. Haven't made up my mind yet. And like I said, I've never in my life supported doing that. I've never thought it was necessary. I've never thought it was a positive thing for the program. But I'm not sure what else to do at this point. I feel it makes us feel hopeless as fans when we continue to pour time, money, resources, energy, passion into this team. And the product continues to struggle and at times even look worse than it did the prior week. It's just, man, I don't know what else we can do. Shannon Miller says, what are we going to do? Win 3, win a bowl, and get hype more of this next year? Yep, that's pretty much what they do to us, man. But I don't think the fans are going to do that this time, man. I really don't. Going to a bowl game is not going to hype this fan base. It's not enough anymore. It really isn't. Shaq says, what a shit show of a game. I turned it off at halftime and started watching Texas play. That's sad, isn't it, man? Because I guarantee you're not the only one. Daniel says, final ISU 38, UCF 35. I think I got more super chats rolling in here, maybe. Yep. Agent Mountaineer, thank you for the support. Says, I'm a big donor to CR Trust, thousands a year. I am done. Many of my friends are as well. This is a dead program. So pathetic it came to this. Got a question for you, Agent Mountaineer, and obviously you don't have to give a super chat to answer this. I'll try to look for it. Are you going to completely stop donating, or are you just going to shift your money to a different sport? Because I've got to decide what I want to do. A lot of people said shifting it to a different sport doesn't send a message, but maybe it will. I don't know. Big Aaron says they won't make a bowl. Steve Herzl says bowl game. Are you kidding me? Neal has resorted for losing to getting our ass kicked tonight. But hey, we had fun, and the crutch from MB will be injuries and the refs. All right. I did this a few games ago, and it seemed to be people seem to enjoy it. Agent Mountaineer says message needs to be sent. I suggest fans stop going to games and supporting this garbage. I would gladly donate to have a new head coach, but I am not supporting this any longer. Couz is not stupid. Not sure what that means. Send donations to DeVries. At least he actually seems hyped to have a talented team. All right. I'm going to put the link to the show in the chat box. Anybody who wants to come on and air your frustrations, feel free to do so. There is the chat. I keep seeing Couz is not stupid. Is that a troll attempt, or is somebody saying I'm stupid? What's the deal here? I did, Daniel. I did, man. I did see that. I appreciate you sending it. Snowman, they were entertaining. I said that the other day. Dana also, he won some marquee games. He beat number 4 Baylor in Morgantown. He beat Texas in 2018. He won the bowl game. Dana had some big wins at West Virginia. What's up, Mark? Mark, can you hear me? Well, we had Mark on, and we lost him. Thank you, Obzin. Thank you. I'm going to put the link again to the show if anybody wants to jump on. Air your frustrations. Bobby Baker sends a super chat, says, Neal Brown shows no emotion. It's always felt off to me since he started. And he safeguards Jordan Leslie, who has no business in P4 football. Love the show. Watch every episode. Bobby, I appreciate the support, my man. And yes, I don't know what – look, something has got to change. I don't know if it's whether it's assistant coaches, the whole staff, something. Doing nothing is absolute insanity at this point. West Virginia is the 15th winningest program of all time. They have not been in the AP top 25 in over 5 freaking years, man. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. One of only 4 programs. You know who those are? Texas Tech, Vanderbilt, and freaking Rutgers. We're in the same category as Rutgers, man, and Vanderbilt. If you're okay with that as a fan, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe winning's just not that important to you, and that's okay. That means you're a casual fan. Then be a casual fan. That's fine. But you're not a serious fan if you're okay with being in that category. John Waffle, H2P, I'm afraid to even read this, but you gave me $20. Justin, why are you saying your historic program? How many national championships has WVU won besides the so-called 1920? I never said we won a national championship, you troll. I didn't say we won a national champion. I said we're 15th all-time in wins. I'm pretty sure we're higher on that list than Pitt. From now on, I'm going to quit. I might stop reading you messages. Money or no money. You're going to come on here and be a troll. Shannon Miller. It's a shame how Dana has shit on, but boy, ain't he looking better now. He did entertain. We've got Jacob Rutherford in the house. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm fed up, man. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, man, I know. We all are, brother.
They looked like they didn't even want to be out there. I was at the game last weekend, and I know that it's a week past, but like just the coaching decisions, man, it's just I don't get it. You go your first 2 drives last week, you're running the ball perfectly, you completely abandon that,
mm-hmm.
And then tonight, I mean, we didn't have nothing for them, nothing.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. And, like, the thing is, man, is I'm from Eastern Kentucky, Southern West Virginia area. And,
mm-hmm.
like, I really wanted to like Neal Brown. You know what I mean? Like, really wanted to. Just not doable anymore.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
got you.
all I had to say, man. I just wanted to hop on and say that.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and supporting the show, man. And yeah, I wanted to give people a sounding board here to kind of come on here and vent their frustration. So I appreciate you coming on, Jacob.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
You too. Have a good rest of your night, man.
Yep.
All right, next is Pat 08. Pat 08. Welcome to the stage, man. How you doing?
All right. Can you hear me, Couz?
I can hear you good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, it feels like almost at a point. I know there's a money issue, but is the university even taking football serious at this point?
I think we're going to find out, brother.
Because if you look at things, I think there's a statistic I seen maybe earlier this year that West Virginia had one of the highest priced game day experiences.
One of the highest. It's not
Right.
as high. It's not as high as they make it out to be. I think they claimed it was the second highest or second highest. It's not, but it's still high. It's still up there.
Right. I mean, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
we have fans that travel a lot. We fill the stadium. We're a poor state comparable to other states. And this has got to be the worst stretch. I mean, all right. And sorry about that.
No worries. Hey, brother, I'm a dad. I get it. No problem.
All right. But, well, we made a change after Bill Stewart, and he won, 9 games a year, basically. And then people basically pushed Dana out, and wasn't the best coach, but we were winning. We were exciting. We beat some teams we weren't supposed to. And that's not happening at all here. We can't even beat a team that finishes the season with 7 or 8 wins.
Yep. I don't know if you heard the spaces that Earbeard did the other day. He actually put numbers to it, man.
I didn't hear it. Now, I didn't catch it.
Neal Brown had won 26. I think it was 26 games against FBS teams, because a lot of his wins have come against FCS schools.
Yeah, of course.
He had 20 some wins. It was 26 or something like that. 20 some odd wins against FBS teams.
I know it's terrible.
15 of those wins have been against teams who've won 5 games or less.
Ugh, that's freaking awful.
It's terrible.
I don't know if you think this either, because I like Tony Caridi and all them, but it just feels like they're going along with the excuse. You know what I mean?
They are, man, big time. They absolutely are.
It gets tiring to heal. We're hearing right now the injuries. I get it, you have injuries, but every team has injuries. They
do. Bingo.
Every team had the transfer portal. I look at Indiana right now. BYU, second year in the Big 12. Cincinnati's even doing better than we. You know what I mean?
And did we even? And but here, let's be honest. Did we look that good even before the injuries?
No, I mean, no.
We were getting our asses kicked with that. We were getting our asses kicked before the injuries.
Right. It's just an excuse. The guy will come up with anything. And
I'm tired. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of hearing it, man.
I am too.
I want him to come into a press conference. I'm sorry, I'm getting fired up, man. I want him to come into a press conference and sit down a microphone and say, look, we're a bad football team. We're getting our ass kicked every week, and I don't know what to do about it. We're trying, but we just suck. That's what I want to hear. because it's honesty.
Yeah,
I'm tired of hearing how good we are. We're a damn good football team. I don't. No, you're not. You suck.
Yeah,
be honest about it.
I always joke around my friends. He should quit football. He should open up a used car sales lot.
Yeah, or be a politician.
He'd be good at that. I mean, he lies to us every offseason.
Absolutely. Well, man, look, I appreciate you coming on. It's been fun. I've got a few more people I want to get on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Hey, absolutely. I appreciate your support, man. Take care.
Yep, you too, buddy.
Next, we have Big Aaron. Big Aaron, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, Couz, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, no, you clicked on the wrong person. This is Bobby Baker. You clicked on the wrong person.
Oh,
that's why
I'm sorry.
I was waiting. I was waiting to hear Big Aaron came on.
Hey, I'll bring you both in then. Sorry about it. Big Aaron. I meant to click because you were next, and I accidentally clicked on his instead of yours.
I was talking, and then he responded. I was like, "That's not my voice. Like, what's going on?"
And then I'll just I'll bring you both in. I'll start with you, Big Aaron. What do you want to get off your chest, man?
No, I was just gonna say, like, this is like one of the first times I was like just not excited for a game in like so long.
Did you go to the game, or you?
No. I mean, I watched. I live in Atlanta,
right.
So like.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No. Yeah. So like, but I was just like, was not excited for this game at all, like all day. And like, I know we're playing a ranked opponent and everything. And it was like, And that's just like, that's not fair to anybody. I'm sure a lot of people felt like that too. And I feel really bad for people who like the guy earlier talked about it as well, like the people who traveled and the people who like come from the bottom of the state to go up there. Like, well, I'm from Parkersburg, so I'm from like 2 hours away from Morgantown. So I know what it's like that's a whole part of your day and a whole part of your uh finances and just everything that goes into it.
Yep.
Energy, just a lot that goes into going to these games. It's not fair to these people, man. And like, something's got to give, something's got to
Yeah.
change. I just was not excited. Just the excitement
Yeah.
and everything is just completely dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. So
Yeah. I want
something's got to
to,
give.
yeah. Somebody mentioned Tony Caridi earlier, and look, I love those guys. I watch all their stuff. But
Same.
I want to take a moment and give a shout out to it. There's a couple people in the media, and who do shows and write and do podcasts and the whole bit.
Yep.
That have not been sugarcoating this thing.
Yep.
One of those is Skylar Callahan over at SI.
I watch him.
His show with Eugene Napoleon. Those guys did not sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Ostie at WV Sports Now. Those guys are honest.
Yeah.
Touchdown
City Show.
Yeah, they're Touchdown City Show.
Section 304.
Yeah, those guys too. But but those guys, I don't consider those guys mainstream. They're more like independent media, like me. But I was talking about the credentialed people like SI, Rivals, those people.
They had that credibility. Yeah.
Most of them, a lot of those are not. A lot of them kind of make excuses and want to be, super uber positive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Skylar and his people over at SI and Mike Ostie and the people at WV Sports Now, they're not afraid to be honest, and I respect that. And to an extent, the guys at Ears Sports, Couz and Anderson are a little bit like that. They're probably a little less so, but still, I think they try to be fair.
Yeah. Caridi and them, man, they don't really have a choice. Like,
I don't think they do
going
either.
to talk shit on Neal Brown, then go do a show, like sit next to him?
It's
just not going to happen.
It's different. It's different. And I know they say that that's not the reason, and it may not be their intent, but it's probably a subconscious thing that it's hard to go sit in front of a guy every week, multiple times a week, when you just bashed him on a show.
Yeah, they're around this guy all the time. So it's like, but some of the other reporters who were asking the tough questions, I mean, obviously they don't have shows and things like that. Like they can't get away with those tough questions.
Correct.
Which is kind of what sparked the comment that, set fire to Mountaineer Nation this week.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, the other guy can talk now too. I feel like I kind of took the stage there. But
that's all
go ahead.
good. I hope I didn't take up your time. I feel bad. I feel like I took up your time. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I saw some comments about it in the chat box.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I just think we were just fed a bunch of lies. I feel like the whole offseason, how this team was just like, this is the best chance that we can get to the Big 12 title and all that, and you just get so pumped and drink the Kool-Aid for so long, and we've been drinking the Kool-Aid for like 6 years. It's just like getting really frustrating.
Yeah, and if you recall, they kind of did the same thing to us in 22 as well.
Yeah.
And then they ended up going 5-7 and being absolutely terrible. So yeah, I'm just starting to think they just can't judge talent. I'll be honest with you, or maybe they can and they just don't know how to use that talent. I can't figure out which it is, but either way, it's resulting in losses, and it needs to stop.
Hey man, everything starts at the top at everything. Any corporation, anything, it all starts at the top. And anything you ever go to or do, anyone in any professional setting, it all starts at the top.
Amen.
So,
yep,
there you go.
All right.
Anyway,
perfect.
Cool.
Big Aaron, thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
all
the
support, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was cool meeting you that one time, man.
Absolutely, it was cool. I still have that picture.
Oh, fire! Yeah, me too. I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Yo, I'm at Couz," because she'd be watching like Real Housewives and stuff, and like then I'll be like, "No, I gotta watch Couz, man. Gotta watch Couz and Paul."
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so she knew. Anyway, yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, be good, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
All right, I'm going to let Bobby speak, but first I want to address his super chat from DRP4. He says, "Tough times ahead." Absolutely, DRP. Absolutely, man. It's rough roads, but West Virginia football is going to be back. We will be back, man. But some tough decisions have got to be made. Now we've got OBZ Thank you for the donation. Says you're my fave WVU content, Couz. Keep it up, man. Thank you for that. It means a lot. It really means a lot. Getting on here with you guys after a game like this really helps. It's therapy for me, to be honest with you. I really enjoy it. Bobby, what's up, man?
Hey, Couz, how's it going, brother?
It's going well. How are you?
Oh, been better, been worse.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
man. I just want to hop on the show today, man. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I sent you that super chat earlier about how Neal Brown has no emotion.
Right.
It's just really bothering me because I remember early in his tenure, you know, new coaches come in, things happen. You know, look at like how Gus Malzahn was at UCF, or you know, I'm spaced on his name, huge coach, but we should have got him. Went to Auburn. He's having a hard time. I mean, there's growing pains in every program, right?
Right.
Everybody was like, well, you know, you wait for his recruits. He's a good recruiter and all this. I mean, dude, it's been 6 seasons. These guys have came and gone.
Yep.
I mean, there's no progress. There's nothing. He
Nope.
shows no emotion. I mean, it's so sad. Like, I'm a big West Virginia guy. I watch all the shows. I'm actually waiting up for his post game to come on, and I'm really not looking forward to him saying, "Well, the refs this. I'm gonna need somebody to verify this call for me. Like it makes a difference."
Yeah.
It's not gonna bring the game back.
And he'll use those injuries as an excuse.
I mean, the injuries too, but like, I mean, the thing that I always go back to is like Graham Harrell, right?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he left us after one season to make a lateral move. He didn't even progress. And Neal Brown tried to blame him for the play calls, which, you know, that's here nor there. But I mean, he said like this upcoming season, he was like, you know, I'm gonna be back calling the plays, what I'm good at. Obviously not. You know, we get down to the 3-yard line. You've got C.J. Donaldson who can run the ball 15 yards up the gut, breaking contact, and you try to do some cute little pass play, you know, instead of getting up a touchdown before half.
Yeah. Well,
like what sense does that make?
And I can't talk. I agree with you on the call. I didn't like the call either. But on the flip side of that, Cole Taylor was wide open in the end zone, and Garrett did not see him.
I mean, that's another problem. Like Garrett, I love Garrett Green. I think he's a great person. I think he means well. But you can't have him pass in the pocket. I mean, I'm not trying to sound mean, but he can't see.
It's not his game, and that's not his game either.
Right. He's a rollout passer. Like check down, downfield run. That's what he's built for. And they try to put these plays around him. I mean, if you had him in the pocket all season, how many passes do you think he would complete? I mean, I get it. It's hard for him, but he's fast enough. He's got good enough agility to get outside to make his own decisions.
Agreed. But then you see what happens when he gets hit. He ends up getting hurt. So,
right. I mean, I think it all comes down to he puts a lot on the field, and I respect him for that.
I do too. I love the guy. But at the same time, when you're the head coach, you got to do what's best for the entire team. And if you've got a quarterback that's not producing, you've got to do something about it. And it doesn't seem like he wants to do that until a guy gets hurt and he has to.
I mean, it seems like Garrett's digressed too. I mean, you hear all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You hear all this stuff from the offseason about, and they talked highly of him at the Manning camp. And, you know, I thought big things were coming from him too, because I really do like the guy. But, I mean, what is this? Is it a lack of coaching? Is it what? I don't know. Is there like an atmosphere in the locker room that everybody's just down and out all the time? Like,
I don't think that's the case. I mean, obviously I'm not there, but based on rumblings I've heard from other people, I don't think that's the case. I think they have a pretty tight-knit team, but I think I don't know, man. It's either player development or lack thereof, or they're just not. They haven't been able to find that guy at quarterback that it takes to win at the college level. I mean, but if Kansas State can find one, they've had 2 in a row, by the way, Will Howard and now Avery Johnson, and Iowa State can go find them. By the way, Brock Purdy's now playing for the San Francisco 49ers, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Iowa State found him. We can't get one guy in 5.5 years.
And I dreaded playing Brock Purdy every year.
Yeah.
And that was when Iowa State was just one of those teams that was going to ruin your season. They weren't even that great.
We can say what we want about Dana Holgorsen, but every quarterback he had, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, played good football. And if they didn't, you know what he did? He didn't play them anymore. I mean, it just, I don't know, man. It just,
Yeah, it's like
sometimes
a lot of people get on here and they talk about like Skylar Howard. I mean, Skylar Howard definitely wasn't the best quarterback we had during that era, but
he
you
won
go
10
back
games.
and look, he wasn't bad. He didn't get the credit he deserved, and he won 10 football games in the Big 12
and took him to 2 bowl games, man, in a
and
row.
2 bowl games. I'll tell you one more thing before I get off here. I gotta get up in the morning, but I appreciate you getting let me get on the show with
Absolutely.
you. So like I said, big Mountaineer guy. I mean, any player, coach, whatever, if I ever see him out in public, I'm excited
Yeah.
to talk to him.
Same, man.
I actually saw Neal Brown in 30A, I think it was 2 years ago. Didn't even say anything to him. So I mean, he was across the street. It's not like we were in close contact. But I saw him and I was like, huh. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been a trust the climb guy at all. I mean, maybe that's on me. But then
I
I was in the
was,
airport.
but I'm not anymore.
Yeah, I was in the airport, and Jordan Leslie was beside me at the baggage claim.
Huh.
And I looked over and he said something to me, and I wanted. I mean, it's not my place to say things, but he asked me something. I was like, I'm doing good. But all these thoughts went through my head, and I was like, dude, what you've done to our defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gets me enraged and my blood's boiling, but I'm going to get to bed, Couz. Thank you very much, brother.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate the support, brother. Good night.
Sure. Good night.
What's up, John?
How are you? Thanks
Good, how are
for
you?
letting me on.
Absolutely.
Listen, I think the thing that we haven't talked about yet is that the team too, like there's a lot of seniors on this team, and there's a lot of guys leaving after this year.
I don't know. Did you see the video I did on that?
No, I did listen to what's it called? The Mike Kazaza, and they were mentioning it the other day.
Yeah, that's where I got the idea of. Well, I actually had a couple. I shouldn't give them full credit. I listened to I had a couple commenters on one of my other videos say, hey, I think I even had somebody send me a DM about it. Said, hey, you need to take a look at our roster. We're losing a lot of guys. Well, then I heard Mike and them talk about it. And they just, and I sit down and put some numbers to it and actually put what percentage of snaps we're losing off of each position group.
Yeah, it's and that's
so go back and check it out after, when you get a chance. But yeah, you're right. We're losing. Our entire offensive line could be gone after this year.
Yeah, and I think too, like you got to start thinking too, like a lot of these guys are going to probably start making like business decisions too. Like if you're a guy and you have like they're not tied to West Virginia, like a Josiah Trotter, like what's making you stay here? I mean, especially if you show you can play, like do you really want to play for a dead program that's not going anywhere, has no expectations, that is going to be a bottom 4 team in the conference next year? Same thing with like CJ Donaldson, like those guys. There's got to be something in their head that says, you know what, I can go play for another program. So that definitely concerns me. The only other thing that frustrates me as far as being a West Virginia fan is, we got a break a few years ago when Dana left us because we didn't have to pay his buyout. So
correct.
Like we haven't had to pay someone's buyout in a long time, including basketball. So now we're year 6. Like if we're going to be a big boy program, like we need to do big boy things. So it's just, it's really frustrating. I can't imagine another season with Neal Brown as the coach, and I'm gonna be really annoyed if this continues. And money cannot be the excuse. Otherwise, then we should just be a Group of 5 school, in my opinion. If that's the case, if that's the way we're gonna go, because at that point it's like you can't even compete.
Well, I'm gonna say it again. I've said it 100 times, and I'm probably gonna say it until something changes. If Iowa State and Kansas State can win football games in the Big 12, there is zero reason West Virginia can't.
Yeah,
There's those schools' resources are not that much better, if at all better, than West Virginia's. They're not big time programs as far as, they're not sitting in a big city. They don't have, all these donors, major donors, like some of these big, like the Ohio States and Texases. And they are historically bad programs compared to West Virginia. Now they've obviously been better in recent years, but I'm talking about over time. West Virginia has been a good program.
It's really frustrating because my first year going to West Virginia was the Orange Bowl year when we went, when we beat Clemson and everything looked like it was up. And right before that, it was the Pat White. So like when I chose to go to West Virginia, because I live in New Jersey, when I chose to go to West Virginia, I'm like, all right, that's gonna be a cool brand. It's gonna be awesome. And then it just seems like, it just has not lived up to that. And it's kind of frustrating because like I'm a teacher and I try to explain to the kids or like people in my area about West Virginia, and no one takes it seriously because I haven't been relevant in so long.
Yeah.
So
And they talk about how the university's losing in enrollment, all these financial issues. You know what will help that? Have a good football team.
yeah.
I don't think people who are close, people who aren't sports fans or football fans, I don't think they understand how important it is for your football team to be good.
Yeah, after we won the Orange Bowl, enrollment was up, and we had a lot of positive momentum, and and just ever since that, it just sucks. I think the other thing too, I think everything really changed. I think the most important game that we lost, and this was before before Neal was there, was when we blew that game against Oklahoma State. We had like 11-point lead, and all we had to do was win that game and make it to the Big 12 championship. Like just to make it to a Big 12 championship would have been like, all right, like there's some good moments in the Big 12, and we just don't have any like signature moments in the Big 12s in 12, 13 years of being there. So I don't know. I feel like the last thing before I go is, you look around and you see the success at Indiana, like you mentioned, and you see how quickly a culture can change with the right person. And I still believe with West Virginia, even though we have our disadvantages, I still believe with our tradition and where we are in the map and the blueprint. I do think if we found the right person, they could make a quick turnaround, especially with the portal. And if we support them at Country Roads Trust, I feel like with the right person we could, but the university has to make a decision. They have to spend money. I know it's a lot of money. It's scary with revenue sharing, but eventually you're going to have to do it. Otherwise, we're not going to get any different results.
Agreed, man. Great. Well said.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate the support, man.
Thank you.
Enjoy your rest of your weekend.
You too.
All right. Who's next? We've got JJ Brown. JJ Brown, how's it going? JJ, can you hear me? Hello, JJ. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Couz. How are you doing?
I'm good. I think I clicked on you instead of JJ a minute ago. I don't know what I did. I think I was just JJ. I didn't mean to. JJ, I think I just kicked you out by accident, brother. I apologize. All right, Zach, how you doing?
I could be doing better, Couz.
I hear you.
Yeah, I was at the game. Today.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's all right. It was a fun atmosphere until we started not doing too hot like usual, and I'm not sure if you could tell on the TV, but once the third quarter, when Kansas State started really kicking into high gear against us, like it was like there was troves of fans just shaking their heads and just hitting the roads.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I had somebody post on social media that people were leaving in droves.
Yeah.
That the fans basically cleared out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, we're not, we haven't been putting a good product on the field, and
right.
It's just it just sucks. And
yep.
A lot of people, including myself, and you, tired of hearing the excuses from Neal.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just feel like this is just a recurring thing. Like we're in this big circle right now where we, lose a game, then excuses and same old, and same old excuses too.
Yep, absolutely, man. I hear you. Hey, look, I'm hope you had fun at the game. Hope you had a good tailgate. The weather was nice.
Yeah, I did have a fun time.
Well, good. I'm glad you did. Hey, after all, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
I'm obviously you can't see me, but you may not be able to see me, but I'm obviously being facetious. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you, but I'm a huge West Virginia guy, man. Born and raised here, and I bleed bleed gold and blue, and I wish the best for this team, man. They represent the whole state. It
Agree,
sucks
man.
to just see where we're at right now, and where we could be. You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree, man. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. I really do. And safe travels to you if you haven't made it to your destination yet. And thanks again for the support of the channel, man. And hopefully there are brighter days ahead for West Virginia football. I feel it in my bones. I just, not sure when it'll be, but I do think better days are ahead.
Yeah. We just got to keep trucking along. But want to hop off here, but appreciate the show, Couz. Thank
you for the support. And I think I accidentally kicked off JJ. I apologize to JJ if you're still listening. I had clicked on Zach's profile or whatever instead of yours. And when you didn't respond, and I was calling out your name, and since I didn't hear you respond because you weren't in the chat yet or on those in the show yet, I thought I had lost you. So I apologize. It was an error on my end. Did not kick you out on purpose. Anyway, got to get to the super chats here. Then we'll call this a night. TRM Music says, didn't expect another 9-win season. We don't get many of those. 7-8 wins seem to be more realistic, but to be under 500 is a joke with this team, especially considering they told us how great this team was all friggin' off season. Got us all hyped up. They're not good. Might be talented, but they're not a good team. There's a difference. There might be talented individuals on that team, but it's not a good team. That's the problem. DJ, thank you for the super chat, my man. He says, look more forward to the post-game reaction than watching the game. Glad there are others that feel the same way. DJ, man, like I said earlier, getting on here and doing these reaction shows is a form of therapy for me. It really helps me to share my thoughts and feelings with the Mountaineer Nation. And to know that I'm not alone in my suffering. But thank you for the support. Jeff Bell in the house says, hey, Couz, big fan of the channel. This play calling is horrible, and watching this team get embarrassed every week is just very saddening. It absolutely is, Jeff. It's sad. It's depressing at times. I don't want to say depressing. It's not like a clinical depression, but you guys know what I mean. It's sad. It's frustrating. Disheartening. I don't know. It's not fun. I can say that. But yet I can't stay away because I love my team. But and I can't root against them. I don't have it in me to do that. So every time they step out there, I want them to win. But we all feel your pain, man, and we're all feeling it together. But I thank you for the support of the show. I'm not scared to debate you, John. There's nothing to debate. I'm not trying to debate, man. It's not a debate show. It's a post-game reaction to a West Virginia game, period. You're not a West Virginia fan. There's nothing to debate. Pitt is a better program today, right now, than West Virginia. That's it. Because you have a better coach and a better coaching staff. That's it. There's nothing else to debate there. Yes, Pitt has won some national championships, but you haven't won one in my lifetime, I don't think. If you haven't won one since the 1970s, it's not in my lifetime, so I don't really, it's a long way back to go to talk about national titles. But anyway, all right, listen. I appreciate everybody tuning in again. A shout out to my sponsor, Cats Counter, Stone Street, and Buckner, and my other sponsor as well, BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino. Thank them for helping me keep the lights on. Thanks to all the support tonight. A lot of people on the show. This is one of my bigger shows in a while. We can all get on here and mourn together, be frustrated together, complain together, whine together. I appreciate everybody for doing that with me tonight, whether you're on X or YouTube. And if you are on X, by the way, come over and check out my YouTube channel. You can catch all my previous content over there. You can catch uploaded shows that I do that aren't live. You can check those out. And then my past live shows that I've done as well that you might have missed, because not all of them have been on X. So go check those out. I appreciate you tuning into the show. Hopefully you don't let this loss linger too long, and you can enjoy the rest of your night and your Sunday as we go into Sunday here on the show. But anyway, thanks to everybody. I appreciate the support. Q Country Roads.